you collector car fans out there. This is once again Jason, the owner and founder of Southern Bush Motorsports. Well, I got a great tales from the bush for you today. This is some pretty cool cars that I got. This is just a picture of a shop. A fellow that had sent me some pictures way back in the day, and some beautiful cars to look at. So what we're going to be looking at today is two HEMI Cudas. Two HEMI Cuda 4-speed, believe it or not. Both these cars are absolutely stunning cars. They are probably one of the nicest set of Barracudas, HEMI Barracudas I've ever seen. This is the first one. It's a 70 HEMI Cuda 4-speed. What a beauty. Now at the end of this Tales from the Bush, I'm going to tell you that this car and the next HEMI Cuda, they have something in common. And you won't believe what it is. Look at the front end of that car, man, I'll tell you what. You know, if you're new to the collector car business, it's really cool to see these cars and these videos that I make, and give you some good examples of some beautiful cars that you can buy. And you know, you take a look at these cars online and see these pictures and go, wow, this is the car that I want. I don't blame you. These are really cool cars. This is a 70 HEMI Cuda 4-speed. Good golly. Everything on this car is correct. Look at the HEMI logo on the right there, and the wheels and the color. I think that was, what do they call that? Curious yellow, Bahama yellow? I can't remember, but it's a really cool yellow. And this car is super clean. You can see in the picture, super clean, super straight. It's got the shaker hood on it. I don't know. I think all HEMI Cudas had to have that shaker hood. I'm not too sure. I'm sure people will love to comment and let me know. But I really like the shaker hood. It's got those hood pins on it. Boy, it's a straight looking car, I'll tell you what. You know, it takes a lot of work to take one of these cars if they need to be restored and to restore it. And somebody's obviously done a really good job with this car. It looks straight. You know, I mean, look at that trunk. That sticker for that white sticker you see right there, in case people don't know, is the sticker that you use to help change the tire. And that's a tire in the trunk right there, and you got the jack and all the bumper jack. Well, you haven't done much in your life unless you've changed the tire with a bumper jack. Oh, there you go right there. Look at that HEMI engine. Boy, that thing's cool. Man. Incorrect battery, but everything else looks correct. That's a real HEMI engine right there. Boy, oh boy. Look at that door jamb. You know, everything was done. This car obviously was taken apart. It certainly was taken apart to have this beautiful restoration done. You know, the paint and the door jamb like that. You know, you can tell when some cars, people take the laser way out and restore it without taking it apart. And people like me and other collectors can tell when you do that. Look at that pistol grip 4-speed, no console. Man, that's just, woo, I like it. No, actually, that looks like the interior to that red one. And so is that one right there. I don't know how these pictures got mixed in, but the next HEMI Cuda is a red one, just in case you were wondering. But hopefully we'll get back to these pictures of the yellow HEMI Cuda. You know, look at that engine right there. Good. God, it's so cool to see a HEMI engine in such a small car like that. Because that's a big friggin' motor to be in that car, you know. Correct radiator. Battery's not correct, but that thing, that brake booster? There isn't even a brake booster on that. How do you stop a HEMI car without power assisted brakes? Good God, I wouldn't want to try to stop that car like that. But it is what it is. That's what the car came with. And that's what you got. Look at that thing. You imagine that thing sitting in your garage. Whew. Boy, that'd be something right there. And it's got the wheels on it, those road wheels. Got the headlights, the rally lights in the front. That is a 70 HEMI Cuda. Look at that grill. That has to be a brand new grill. That can't be an original grill. Might be original grill. It was redone, but boy, that thing looks perfect. I love the way how those signals are tucked in up top there. You know, the front end of that car. I know I'm showing a lot of the pictures, a repeat of the same pictures, but there wasn't a lot of pictures of this car. Not too many of the other one either, but you know, it gives you a chance to look at a 70 HEMI Cuda. And look at that door jamb there. Somebody went to a lot of trouble to make sure that was correct. In case you don't know, that little white sticker right there is where they would put the tire pressure in that, so you'd know when you bought this car new what tire pressure you're supposed to have. And those are door stoppers, so when you slam your door too hard, it won't screw your paint up. A lot of the time when people restore these cars, they don't put those things back in, but I think they're really important, especially if you like to keep your paint. Well, that's the top of an original pistol grip shifter. Pistol grip shifter derives from the handle of the old revolver, and they made a shifter with the same shape and Honestly, I've held the old revolvers before, and it definitely does feel like it. Oh, that's the interior of that one right there. And there's nothing plain Jane about it. It's a full cluster. It's got the clock, the RPM gauge. It's everything's there. It's just so cool to see cars like that, restored and looking good. And that dash right there. The dash is perfect. The carpet's perfect. And it's just a really nicely restored car. Somebody put a lot of time and definitely a lot of money into restoring this car. I kid you not. There's the back seat. That's the way they look like when they came from the factory. That's definitely original looking. It's not original. The car's been restored, but it looks original. So like I said earlier, especially if you're new at looking at these cars and you're trying to learn a little bit about these cars, this car and the red one that's coming up next after this, they both have something very much in common, but we'll get to that when we get to looking at the other one. And there it is. There's another picture of it. There's a 1970 Plymouth HEMI Cuda pistol grip 4-speed. Pretty much everything you'd want in a 70 Cuda. This is it. This is my dream car. She's a beauty. Look at the back end of that car. Oh my goodness. That was such a smooth back end with those elastic bumpers. Plastic bumper. I can't remember what they call them. But the thing that's underneath there. Really cool car. And there's that HEMI symbol. You got the trunk in there. I don't think that's what the original Space Saver looked like. But, Space Saver tire is kind of a lot thinner than that. Nonetheless, she's a beauty. Look at that weather stripping around the trunk. That's all good condition. And that trunk right there. It might have been an older restoration. Looks a little dirty in there. Definitely looks like an older restoration. It don't even look like that trunk's ever been replaced either. So, could be a real solid car. Could have started out as a real solid car. Who knows? Yeah, you can usually tell when the trunks and quarters and all that been replaced. It certainly doesn't look like it on this one. That's a real clean looking trunk. That's the way you want your trunk to look. There you go. There's a nice fender tag right there. So those numbers right there, if you look them up online, you'll be able to tell you what most of the options on the car was. The bottom right there where the BM, that tells you what the car actually is. Here's the red 70 HEMI Cuda. Yeah, see, that doesn't have a shaker hood on it. So for the people that are watching this that do know about these cars or do know quite a bit about muscle cars and how to read fender tags, which is what you just saw. Fender tag's that number with or that little piece of metal tag that has all the numbers on it. For those that have seen that and you remember that I said that the yellow HEMI Cuda and this red HEMI Cuda have something in common, the people with more experience have already figured out what they have in common, and it's something different. So you got this 70 HEMI Cuda. Wow, look at that. That's another beautifully restored car. Yes, sir. Look at that paint. Oh, man, that looks so mean. Imagine that pulling up behind you. Whew. Imagine what it was like back in the 70s or 68, late 69, ordering this 70 HEMI Cuda. Boy, you're checking all the boxes. There's the top of that pistol grip shifter before. I use the same picture because the interiors are basically the same. I don't know if I had too many pictures of the interior of the red one, but the two cars were identical. Like I said, they do have something very similar in common. One single thing that's common to both of them. Look at that interior. Yeah, this is the right. I can see that red mirror right there. This is the interior for the red one. Pistol grip 4-speed. Oh wow, man! And look at that HEMI engine. Woo! 426 HEMI, ladies and gentlemen. That's a beauty. And again, no power brakes or anything. That's crazy. How can you stop a HEMI with no power brakes? Wouldn't catch me in trying to do that. Nice, beautiful trunk area. Yes, sirree. That sticker's there for the tire change. I don't see a spare tire in there. Well, that's alright. Maybe they just didn't get to it when they took the picture, but I'm sure they'll get to it. You don't spend this much time and money on it. There's a nice fender tag, with all the numbers on it. So each one of those numbers means something. It could mean like the emblem on the side, the shaker hood, the HEMI engine, but all those numbers mean something. So now we get back to looking at the yellow car. So the yellow car here and the red car are both 70 HEMI Cudas. And here's the answer for everybody. Guess what they both have in common? This is for all the people out there that are just looking to buy new cars and buy a new car and don't know much about cars and are looking around. The one big thing that this yellow HEMI Cuda and the red HEMI Cuda have in common is, drum roll please, they're both fake. They're both clones. They're both tribute cars. They didn't exist. These cars could have come out with 6 cylinders or 318s, whatever. But these 270 HEMI Cudas are fake. If you didn't have somebody doing a proper inspection, or you didn't have somebody like me looking out for you, you'd get burnt. That car right there probably sell for $150,000 when it's really worth about 40 grand, because it's not a real HEMI Cuda. This is why inspections are important. Thanks for coming by and checking on another Tales on the Bush, and don't forget to like and subscribe.